104.3. Of course, Rise and Shine is brought to you by Zain Jordan, A Wonderful World, Blink by Capital Bank, Live with More, El Markaziyya Toyota, Let's Go Places, Juventus Academy Amman, growing your dreams since 1897, and WUDUH, the vision that drives change. And of course, speaking of WUDUH, we are honored to have with us here in the studio the CEO of WUDUH, Mr. Wahib Joseph Al-Mashini. Good morning. Sabah al-khair to you.
Good morning. And first, let me tell you, thank you. The pleasure is mine. And thank you to the whole Bliss family for having me this morning.
Of course.
Well, sir, also I want to point out that you guys are early birds, to say the least. You guys were here early on, and so usually we have issues with our guests because usually they come in, they're like, oh, I can't believe you guys woke me up this early to be on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But you guys are going.
The amount of times we like, yeah, the show's from 7 to 10, let's do an interview. Sure, can we come at 11? The show is from 7 to 10.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we have offices globally, so believe me, my sleep schedule is so out of whack. You could tell me to be here at 4, I'll be here at 4.
Actually, in just a little bit, we are going to talk about the fact that WUDUH never sleeps.
Never.
But before we get into that, let's take a few steps back.
Sure.
I want to know, start from the top.
Sure.
Let's talk about WUDUH. Describe WUDUH. What is WUDUH?
WUDUH was a vision that I had to empower Jordanian youth to be at another level. You and I, we were talking earlier, and I told you the first time I came to Jordan was only a few years ago. And I promise you, from the second I landed, I fell in love with the country. Amman is a beautiful place. And
you know what? You get a bell. Hold on.
Thank you. And growing up in the States and whatnot, like I told you, my father's born in Salt, so we came up Jordanian as well. We ate mensif just like everybody else. And then, but hearing the stories of always back home, coming here was just amazing.
Yeah.
So when I actually had the opportunity to be taken around and actually see Jordan with my own eyes, Jordan is just a land of opportunity through my eyes, and it's such a beautiful place.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. If you prick me, I will bleed Jordan.
Amen.
I will bleed Hashmite.
You'll have loving coming out.
So much love, and I love that. I love the fact that you came to Jordan, you saw how beautiful it is, and then you decided to create so many opportunities.
Yeah. The opportunities were always here. I didn't create anything. I just had people look at it from a different perspective.
And guys, when I talk about opportunities, I am talking about 1,000 employees, and they
Over.
are growing. Over 1,000
Yeah.
employees.
So what are these 1,000 employees doing exactly? Like, what does WUDUH do?
So WUDUH is a outsourcing service center for American-based companies and European-based companies and Canadian-based companies that we harnessed Jordanian talent.
Yeah.
We actually tap in and give Jordanian citizens and youth the opportunity to learn Eastern business and Western business and to really shine.
Yeah, and they're working with, as you mentioned, these international companies as
Absolutely.
well from Jordan. So
Correct.
the offices, you have many offices around the world you've mentioned. One of them being right here in Jordan.
Correct. We're located in Abdali. And what we did was we had the ability to section off more or less the company. We created customer service. We created negotiations. We created research and development, learning and development. We have a marketing team. We have so many different components of WUDUH. And as these kids come in and these youth come in, we review the CV, but it's not, they're not interviewing just for a job. We want to understand where do they see their career path going? What is their passion? And then we align where their vision fits within the organization. And like, we're always hiring. I mean, on average, we hire more than 100 people per month.
Wow, mashallah.
Another bell.
Another bell. So it's not about me creating a structure and a mold for people to fit into my mold. It's about me creating a mold that will fit for the individual.
Yeah. Well, I was about to ask you about the dynamic and fast-paced operational model, because you did say that WUDUH is a company that never sleeps.
Never. It's 24/7. 24/7. We always have everybody in the building. Everybody's always working. We have multiple shifts. WUDUH does not sleep.
WUDUH does not sleep. Empowering youth seems to be at the heart of your mission. how do you identify and grow young talent? I know you said you have a conversation with them, you want to see what they want, but is there something that you do in-house that kind of molds the younger generation to be the best version of themselves?
This is going to sound completely off the wall, but I would say the secret to our success is we listen.
That's,
What's listening?
Listen, we listen.
I never
We
heard of a
absolutely
company
listen.
that listens.
we listen and we don't judge.
We listen,
That's-
absolutely.
That's a social media trend you need to do with all your employees.
Yeah, we listen. I mean, I'm from one generation, and of course, listen. We aligned with His Majesty and the Crown Prince Al Hussein their visions to support the Jordanian youth.
Yeah.
But
But there's
we're-
a lot of them
And
too.
there's tons, but we're all from a different generation. So instead of me trying to understand what my interpretation of supporting the youth would be, how do I know what they really want? So I had to force an initiative within the organization to sit down with these kids and say, you know what? They're not aliens. They're just
They
a
have
different
a voice.
generation. They have a voice. We need to really understand how their mentality is, how this generation thinks. What are their wants? What are their needs? What are their visions for their futures? And how do we support that?
So you sit down with them and like, okay, what do you need to succeed, and how can we provide that to you?
You're going to laugh, but I encourage you to come by the office and you'll see I talk to almost every single employee that's employed by us. And I need to know who they are. I need to know if they're married, if they're single. I need to know, do they have kids? I need to know what is their history, what's their family life like, because the more I know my family, and I call them my family because I spend just as much time, if not more, with them, the more I understand them, it gives me the ability as a leader to support them to ensure their success.
Wow.
I am so impressed.
Speechless. Well,
You got a radio presenter speechless.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This
It's
is
my
as-
job to talk.
Yeah, this is me just being as real as
Yeah.
I can. I mean, God has blessed me in so many ways. It's my responsibility to pay it forward and to support them.
So tell us about this family. Earlier you were telling me about some statistics.
Yeah.
I do believe the
I have 'em right
workforce
here.
starts. Yeah, you have them right here. The workforce starts at the age of 18.
So I'll go over these stats with you, and you can see. So
Yeah.
if you look at WUDUH as a whole, right?
Yeah.
18 to 24-year-olds is 48.4% of our business.
Wow.
Or our employees, excuse me. 25 to 27-year-olds is 20.6%. 28-year-olds to 31-year-olds is 14.2%. 32-year-olds to 35-year-olds is 8%. And 36 and over, and we'll stop there, just 36 and over, is 8.9%.
I'm 40.
Donna, you and
Where-
I would
where
be
do-
part of the 8.9%.
Well,
I'm right there with you guys.
I mean-
right there with you.
But nearly 50% of your employees, your family,
Yes.
is 18 to 24.
Yes.
I want to ask you, how do you guys balance between, employment, but also learning and productivity? Because usually 18 to 24, fresh out of high school, perhaps going into universities, colleges, things like that.
We have a very solid learning and development team. I'm very proud of them. And it's the methodologies and how we teach, what we offer to which companies, and our style of management. Education is everything. We cross-train every single individual in multiple different verticals so they can have options as they feel that, okay, well, maybe this department doesn't work for me, but I'm also cross-trained in another department, so we can encourage them to go. But ultimately it's us designing their career paths for them to ultimately achieve what they want to achieve. So if we
Okay.
have somebody in customer service who has a passion for marketing, we want them to still learn about marketing as they're going through the process, how we do it, how Western business is done, how Eastern business is handled and whatnot, and we just push them along the way.
Well, if you don't mind,
Please.
we got a message yesterday from one of our dear listeners. His name is Kinan. And if you don't mind, I want to just quickly read what he sent. Out of the blues, huh?
Sure.
Good morning, Bliss. He asked, he was like, what do you consider youth? And automatically I'm like, what? I don't know. And I'm 40. I'm like, 40 and under? So he was telling me that youth are presented in decision making youth are presented in decision making or on public platforms. A lot of times the youth representatives are not people that are youth. There are people that are in their 30s and in their 40s. And no offense, and automatically I'm like, well, I'm 40, I represent youth. I don't. And no offense, but that doesn't really reflect what we're going through at our age. Our challenges, our goals, and even how we see the world is completely different than the older generation. So I'm genuinely asking, what is the age range that should officially represent youth? In my opinion, please correct me if I'm wrong, youth should definitely be there on the discussion tables.
100%.
They should be there as part of the decision making. But unfortunately, because I think of their age and lack of experience, although they might know more than us, they're just not put in higher positions. They need a little bit more time to climb the ladder, and this is why they're not in those positions, and the people that are representing them and talking on their behalf are the older generation. But I do hope that the older generation is really listening in to what the youth want.
I agree with you. The way we tackle that is, I agree and I disagree, and let me talk about both points.
Okay.
Our experience molds us to be a better professional. Fair? In any industry. Forget my company, forget your company, in any company, right? It's experience is our best teacher. There's the book way of doing it, and then there's the street way of doing it, right? I think from our company, and speaking on behalf of our company, as a younger person proves themselves that they can handle the responsibility, and they demonstrate that they have problem-solving abilities, or they can demonstrate that they're not too prideful to ask for help, which is a major thing. We give that person the opportunity, of course, supervised, but I tell everybody when they get a job with me, I give you rope. You can climb the highest mountain with it, or you could wind up hanging yourself. But at the end of the day, you go at your pace and you climb at your pace. So I don't limit anybody in any capacity.
Got a radio presenter speechless.
You have to. You have to encourage, because we don't know what they're capable of until you give them the platform to really prove themselves.
Yeah.
So I have been shocked time and time and time again, and I am an eternal
Positively
student.
shocked.
I'm positively shocked.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, sometimes a little bit of both, but at the end of the day, I can say that I learn a lot from our youth.
Yeah.
And I feel like I walk into the office every single day and I learn something new, whether it be minuscule or whether it be something humongous.
Yeah.
I mean,
a perspective you didn't even think existed. let alone-
absolutely. There's always a better way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
And I see it on a daily basis. And today's youth, I feel, is just a lot more intelligent and a lot more educated than I was with my generation. I mean, some of these kids I look at today, even my 2-year-old speaks multiple languages and he's reasoning with me. When I was his age, I was eating dirt,
I was eating dirt until I was 13.
Evolution hasn't kicked in. Yeah.
Well, speaking of education and things like that, and you guys having offices all around the world, mashallah, as we mentioned, care to comment on how the talent pool has been here in Jordan and on the competitiveness of Jordan with regards to, the global market?
So I'm glad you brought that up. And let's really talk about that. So everybody asks me, what was the most noticeable thing that I found in Jordan, right? And there was this hunger for opportunity and a hunger for the Jordanian kids to actually really prove themselves. So I said, okay, so we went with it, right? As I opened up a small office and as we continuously grew and grew and grew, my Jordanian team outshined my offices in Dominican Republic. They outshined my U.S.-based offices. They outshined my offices in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
We were all dumbfounded at the
Wow.
caliber and the professionalism of these kids who were given just an opportunity to prove themselves. They came out stronger than anything I've ever seen. So what happened, there was a shift in the paradigm where the mentality was, okay, well, we're going to outsource to Jordan and we're going to tap into the labor to offset whatever. But then all of a sudden, now my teams out here are correcting the teams over there saying, wait a minute, your policies, your protocol, your procedures, your SOPs, your PPPs, they started laying down a whole new way for us to look at it. And I can say that they shifted my whole organization from doing business organically into a very data-driven type structure. And now any approach that we take, we analyze the data. Even if you come to the office, I think we have almost 10 data scientists. We have workflow analysts. I mean, nothing happens in our organization without a full process being implemented to understand what happens if we go left, what happens if we go right. The data is always more than prevalent, showing us which way do we go. And it just impressed everybody. We were dumbfounded.
All right, I have to ask, for every single person that's tuned in, usually a lot of the youth is tuned in right now. Can you give them some advice? Just something, not only for the listeners, but also for the social media team that is in front of you, which is me.
Sure.
Give us advice on just youth in general. Where do you see this going? What do you expect from them? What do you want them to how can they reach out to you?
I'm always accessible. That's number one. But let's back up. The very first thing that you just said is, where are we going, right? I tell everybody, anybody who has a conversation with me and they say, Joey, what's the secret to success? Or Joey, what advice can you give me? I'll tell everybody the same thing. Through my own personal journey, 80% is understanding what you want and what direction you want to go in. Yeah. And once you understand definitively where you see yourself and what you want to achieve, that's 80% of the work. Achieving it is only 20%, in my opinion.
It's just having the plan, the vision, the goal, setting that.
When I designed WUDUH in my brain, I saw everything down to a chair and a computer sitting there. When you walk in that office, I saw everything as clear as I'm staring at you.
Yeah.
I saw this organization here in Amman, Jordan, and it manifested. So that's number one. That's just understanding where you want to go in your direction that you want to be put in, right?
Yeah.
And I tell everybody this. There's no secret sauce to being successful. The only difference between me and anybody else, I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm not more intelligent. I didn't come from a fluent family. I didn't come with rabbit's feet and horseshoes with good luck. The only difference between me and anybody else, I tell everybody, is I'm hungrier than most people. And
just be
it's
hungry.
about one thing.
Be hungry.
Be hungry.
Be hungrier than everybody else. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're receiving a lot of questions and comments on social media. I'm just quickly going to go through some of them.
Sure.
First of all, we have Mu'tasim, who's asking about how to get in touch with you guys. Mu'tasim, I would direct you to WUDUH's website, which, correct me if I'm wrong, wuduhglobal.com.
Correct. Or social media platform, wuduh.jo.
So you can find them over there, and WUDUH is WUDUH global.com. So that answers Mu'tasim's question. We also have a message from Reem, and she's like, this has been a very interesting conversation. She thanks you for everything you've said so far.
Thank you.
We also have another message from Walid, who wants to sell his company and start working with you guys.
Ahlan wa sahlan. I'm always looking to acquire a new venture.
Yeah, Walid, maybe don't sell the company, maybe collaborate, work together, find a way to...
No need for extreme measures.
Just tell Walid, Instagram, wuduh.jo, send a message. I'll get back to you.
All right.
And finally, we have a question from Sama, and she's asking, do you guys do any kind of game testing and things like that, like game testing jobs, since you work with many of international companies? And
absolutely.
They tend to be off-site jobs as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a very rigorous process in which you go to, but believe me, it's not just turn in a CV and then boom, you're hired.
Yeah.
Put in a CV, Reem, and then you'll see what happens.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to apply just because I want to see what happens.
The testing that we do, the processes that we follow, the questionnaires that come with it, it's a full design process. And again, it's all data-driven approach, so we can understand who are the people that want to work with us and how can we understand the people that we want to work with. So.
Well, you know what? This has been an inspirational morning with you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Once again, you've been tuned in to a lovely conversation with the CEO of WUDUH, Mr. Wahib Joseph Al-Mashini, also known as, may I say?
Please.
Joey.
Joey.
Yeah. Just Joey. And, when we were discussing the fact that, we're going to have an interview, and they were sending me, yeah, Joey's coming, Joey, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow,
Who's
who's
Joey?
this Joey? Yes, I want to meet the CEO of WUDUH that is known as
Joey. Yeah.
Joey.
All right, well, Joey, since that cat's out of the bag,
Sure.
usually with our guests, we like to do something called the lightning round, where
Love it.
we end the interview with a bunch of questions, and I need you to answer quickly with the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't overthink it, and just let me know what your answers are. All
Let's
right?
do it.
So, first off, I feel like I'm very curious about your answers for this one. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm definitely a morning person.
Oh, okay.
He was here at 7 before us.
I know, but like,
6:30.
I wake up every day almost at 3 o'clock.
Mashallah.
wow,
Yeah.
is that a morning person?
Yeah.
That is-
That's
that
an
is.
extreme morning
That's an
person.
Extreme morning person.
All right, meat show and more chicken.
Definitely meat shawarma.
Okay, work from a laptop or work from your phone.
Work from a laptop.
AI, good or bad?
Amazing. It's the future.
It's the now.
It's the now.
It's
It's
the
the
now.
future. We actually own a fintech too as well that we specialize in AI and agentic AI. So
Oh,
it
wow.
is the today and it is the
Yeah.
tomorrow.
All right. And the final question: hiking up north in Jordan or going down south Wadi Rum and Agabe?
I've never been to either.
What?
To be honest with you.
All right, you know
This
what?
needs
Let's
to be
end this.
corrected
Yeah,
immediately.
In my
Yeah,
car. In my
Guys,
car.
we're gonna-
I've
in my
seen
car right
Petra.
now.
I've seen Petra and I've seen Dead Sea so far.
I practically live in Agabe. I go there like almost every
Okay,
weekend.
Team
Yeah.
WUDUH, all the guys
What's
inside.
going
Never
on? What are you
seen
guys
it.
doing?
مقصرين
Team
يا
WUDUH.
جماعة.
They-
مقصرين ايش؟
Wallah,
شو؟
they keep me locked up in an office all
I am
day,
so
and
sorry.
I'm bald and chained, and yeah, they never give me a chance to see anything. They let me see shawarma reem. I thought I was being slapped.
No.
That was
Ouch. Ouch.
How long have you been in the country, sir?
it.
Like,
Consistently or back and forth?
No, consistently.
1 month now.
1 month. 1 month. Well, actually, 1
I
month.
am judging Team
يعني
WUDUH.
ها
Yeah.
ممكن امشي لكم اياها 1 month.
Yeah,
ممكن.
I am absolutely deprived. I
But
mean, there's
come summer, you need to go down to
Yeah.
Agabe, and right now in spring, highly suggest you go up north, because Jordan is absolutely beautiful this time of year.
Oh, really?
Up north, yeah.
yeah, no, we're about to go see Irbid, I think, for the first time.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. We support another initiative. If I may mention,
Of course.
Izwati, an amazing concept. We loved it from the beginning. Mr. Nabilsi is just a very forward thinker, and he's a humanitarian like I've never seen. We love him to death. So we're about to go up there and check out Irbid for the first time with him.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and go on social media. I'm sure I'll find Izwati on social media. And I'll keep a close eye on your social media.
Please.
Maybe perhaps you guys can just mention a little bit of that so we can know a little bit more about
Absolutely.
Izwati. Once again, this has been a pleasure.
No, the pleasure has been all mine. Thank you again. I can't thank you enough for having me on.
Okay, thank you so much. We are going to post this interview. It's been going live on Facebook. We're going to post it on Instagram, on YouTube. If you want to get in touch, of course, Khaled just mentioned. Can you mention the social media again?
The website,
website.
WUDUHglobal.com. For those, and again, we're still getting more questions about WUDUH. A lot of people are very interested in you guys, what you do.
Please.
And some people are asking about the employment process. So, yeah, the best place you could go, guys, is straight to the website, WUDUHglobal.com. You'll find all the information there. Also, if you want to get in touch with us on WhatsApp,
Yeah.
079-1043-104, we'll be more than happy to share more about WUDUH with all of you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank
Once
you.
again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, sabah al khair to all of our listeners.
There's a great place to work